Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. I want to make a quick, maybe about a 15-minute Big Brother video. I feel like my past few videos didn't show my passion for the game. I really didn't really express my thoughts on strategy. I got caught up in my pissed off emotions, which I am still pissed. I am still pissed. But I just want to do a video where we talk about the game. Like, fuck Memphis, fuck Christmas, fuck the others, fuck the telephone group, all that. Still all that. But let's just talk about the game because at the end of the day, one of the telephone group is going to win. That's just point blank period. We got to accept it. Which one of them are we going to root for? Probably none, but which one would we like to see win? Because it's just going to happen. Either you're going to stop watching or you're going to watch one of the telephone group win. So I just want to make a quick video talking about points of why I love the game. And I also want to explain how $5,000 fucked up Davon. I am going to read Davon a little bit. All love. All love. Now, I got on my Atlanta Falcons shirt. That's my team. I used to live in Atlanta before I moved to Memphis. Don't read me for my shirt. I know they asses suck. I know this. But I still rep my team. Okay? Now, let's get into Big Brother. I was talking to a good YouTuber friend about week one strategy of Big Brother and how to tell in this new school era of Big Brother if you're in or if you're out. And I feel like someone like Davon, Bailey, all who have played New School Big Brother, all who have watched New School Big Brother, David's, what's his name? Kevin might not realize, but a lot of them should have known this strategy going in. In week one, the week one HOH is the most important HOH ever in New School Big Brother because that first HOH has the most power in the game. That first HOH is usually the one who can create the alliance of 6 to 8 that steamrolls the first half of the way to jury. Go back and watch. Go back and watch the last few seasons. That's what happens. That first HOH creates the alliance and they steamroll. And if the first OH doesn't create the alliance, they throw somebody in there like a Paul who gets to hand out bracelets that creates the alliance, the steamroll. The whole point of it is by week one, by day 2, before nominations go up, if ain't nobody talk to you about who you should nominate, the HOH, if you ain't in the room with the HOH, and it ain't 5 to 7 other people in that room with you, you are on the outside of the big alliance and you need to rally the troops. That's point, that's blank, that's period. If week one, HOH, if you are not in a room with 5 to 7 other people talking about who the first target of the game is. It's usually an easy target. Who's easy? No blood on the hands, all that good stuff. But if you are not having that conversation, you are probably the no bloods on the hand person that's going to be sitting on the block. So, by the time nominations are made, if you have not had a discussion about these said nominations, it's time to figure out who else has not discussed and rally the troops. It's you versus them. No color, no class, no, the nerdy type, the cool kids, none of that. It's you versus them. If you have not sat in a room with 5 to 7 people, you are a them, and it's time to find out who the other thems are and do something. So that's just how I feel about New School Big Brother as a whole. That's how I feel that Davon, Bailey, everyone, Ian, all of them, like, sit in a room with 3 other people, you are them. You and them. You can't do nothing in New School Big Brother with 3 people. You and your ride or die in the bathroom, like, yeah, it's us to the end. Okay, it could be you to the end, but if you ain't in the room with 6 other people, with you 2 in the middle of it, you and them. So, let's talk about how I feel about the game. I want to talk about each person that went home and how I feel like Black Girl Magic should have read what was going on and rallied the troops. They didn't never rally the troops. They should have rallied the troops after Nicole A went home. But let's talk about it. So first we have up Keisha. Cody was the HOH. Now at this point, Black Girl Magic ain't talked to nobody. It's just them in the bedroom, giggling, laughing, flicking their braids in their hair and all that good stuff, talking about Black Girl Magic. They have not had a conversation about a big alliance. Janelle and Kaysar are enemy number 1. Now, I said in my casting video that I felt like the 4th time in a charm, Janelle, I love you, girl. I love you. But I knew by you being back for your 4th time, people wasn't here for it. People probably looked at you like you were Ian or Nicole. Like, definitely not Nicole, but like an Ian. Like, you won the game. This your 4th time. You too good. You got to go. You a threat, girl. It's a compliment. Kaysar, I never really knew who Kaysar was. I don't think I started. I just didn't remember who he was, but I love Kaysar all the same. They were enemy number 1. If it was not for that safety suite, Janelle and Kaysar would have sat their ass on the block week 1. And so, I really honestly, I don't care what nobody say, feel like production said no Black people out first. No, not a person of color, not any ethnic, any other race. A white person got to go home first. I feel like that's what production said, and that's how we lost Keisha. And I really miss Keisha because I didn't get to see any of that fire. Because Keisha, that season, what's that, season 10 with Keisha, my girl Rennie, the Colonel, Jesse, Michelle, Libra, Ollie, April, all of them. Hot shit season. I think that's why I fell in love with Big Brother. I like that. That's the season Angie would have fit in. I would have been right there. I would have been looking like, oh, y'all bitches arguing again. And then I would have been reading. I would have had some shit to say. And in that season, nobody cared. Nobody. You could cuss out the HOH and you still. Rennie has my favorite line. I don't give a fuck if you are the HOH or not. You're not going to disrespect me. I love that. Love it. But let's move on. So we get on to week 2 with Nicole A. Memphis is the HOH. What's his name? David and Nicole on the block. Nicole kind of got love Janelle, but then I hate Janelle, and let me trash talk Janelle to try to stay, and it ain't work. For whatever reason, Memphis, he could have put up Janelle and Kaysar that week, but he saved them just to not save them the next week. It made 0 sense to me. I didn't understand that gameplay. But this is the week that pissed me off the most with Da'Vonne, because this is the week where Da'Vonne said, I ain't voting out nobody Black. That's pretty much what she said. If you look like me, you same shade as me, I ain't voting you out. Respect. I respect. As a This Is America type of respect. I'm rooting for everybody Black, yes. But when it's $500,000 on the line and you already see what kind of game player at this point David is, why drag him along so you can be in the position you are right now? Moving on. At this point, I think this is around the time the Slicks were created. Everyone thinks they're a subsidiary of the telephone group, but no, y'all asses are Metro PCS. No, y'all asses are the prepaid phones in the gas station that I don't even know how much they cost no more. But that's you. You are not a subsidiary. But moving on. We get to finally weeks 3 and 4. We got to get Jay, Janelle, and Kaysar out. Like, point blank in the period. It didn't matter if Janelle or Kaysar didn't win. They were gone. And that was weeks 3 and 4 wrapped up in a pretty bow. By this time, everyone is treating Janelle and Kaysar like they're lepers. We cannot get close. I like you. I want to try on your clothes, girl. Yeah, give me that dress. Let me wear your jacket. But I don't like you enough to rally troops and save you. At this point, Janelle and Kaysar's threat level was so high, and no one wanted to be connected to trying to save them, that those two people in the game completely blocked everyone's vision from hearing what they were trying to say. Janelle and Kaysar had it figured out. They knew it was Franz, Cody, Danny, and Tyler. They couldn't see Christmas in Memphis. That was their fault. But it's kind of hard to see, you know, two people who ain't about shit being a part of something. But they couldn't see that, so they kind of messed up by telling Christmas in Memphis about the 4 they knew about. But if Day and Bay, anytime during week 3 and 4, would have at least listened and not have been so scared of trying to save. Even in week 2 with Nicole, if they could have saved Nicole, that would have been an ally. It just seemed like Janelle and Kaysar blocked the reads that Black Girl Magic needed to maneuver through the game. But about time you got Janelle and Kaysar out, you had nowhere else to go. And that was your fuck up. That was your fuck up. I'm sorry. Because y'all could have rallied some troops to save Janelle or Kaysar. But that was your fuck up. You were so blinded by their threat and, oh, the telephone group said they got to go. The slick said they got to go, so they got to go. If you could have listened and kind of rallied and did something to at least save Kaysar, y'all could have saved Kaysar. You wouldn't be in the position you are now. One, you would have had a huge threat sitting in front of you. And 2, you could have opened up your eyes wide enough to see, once these 2 go, we next. And take race out of it. I mean, we know what we saw. But if we take race out of it, Bay and Day were next regardless. So, at this point in time, they should have realized that the black people were the rotating pawns for Janelle and Kaysar. They would have realized that Slicks was some bullshit. You should have really realized that. Tyler was trying to tell you about Danny. And then you have a knockout HOH competition where Cody puts up you and Kevin. Danny puts up Day and Bay. Everyone in your so-called slicks are trying to knock you out. That should have been, you should have been done. Wash your hands with it. So when Christmas put your ass on the block, you shouldn't have even been crying about that. Bailey could have never even mentioned the word untouchable to Christmas ever in life. You and Day, Bay and Day, were sitting on the block regardless. Y'all could have licked all of the telephone group's asses with your actual tongues that week, and they would have sat your ass on the block regardless. And I just feel like they can't open their eyes enough ever to see. Davon about to see it Thursday. I'm telling you, tomorrow she about to see it. She about to see it. So now we see Bailey. She's sitting on the block. Y'all going through this bullshit with Christmas. I don't want to revisit that. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about Christmas. I wrote something mean in my notes, but I ain't gonna say it. But Tyler is pulling at your heartstrings with wanting to go home for Black Lives Matter, and Bailey is trying to tell you, Davon, Tyler full of shit, but you out here screaming for life vests. No, nobody ever saves us with a life vest. We always got to out swim on our own. No, bitch, you still out there swimming. You're drowning. Kick and pedal faster because you're drowning. Nobody is giving your ass a life vest. Learn how to save yourself. If you would quit looking for the life vest and learn how to swim and save yourself, you would have saw this coming week 2. And you could have hurried up and got Tyler up out the house. So now Bailey is gone. And I honestly, at this point, think they say they voted out Bailey because she was a comp threat. I really think Bailey is a better Big Brother player than Davon. And I think if we would have flip flopped, we don't know. We'll never know. But I just, something in my spirit say Bailey wouldn't have easily believed the bullshit that Davon is believing right now. And let me tell you why. In that week of Black Girl Magic being sitting on the block, Nicole gives Davon $5,000 in the veto competition, and she chose to wear that ugly ass cereal suit, whatever it was, slop suit. I honestly believe that $5,000 fucked up Davon's whole game, and let me tell you why. A girl like me, and we all in this for 500K. We all in this for the money. Ain't none of us. I mean, I ain't gonna count Bailey and Swaggy money, but it looked like they balling. But for the most part, all of y'all could use 500K. Who can't? Who can't? So you telling me in a game for money at the end of the day, you throwing me a 5 spot? I'm supposed to believe you just throwing this to me out the goodness of your heart. Somebody like me who's already very untrusting, I'm already a person who puts up walls because I just ain't got time for the bullshit. Like, I got to get to know you before I say, girl, what you giving me $5,000 for? Like, even when me and my homegirl, and this my homegirl, we always go back and forth. Girl, you paid for lunch the last time, I got it. Girl, you paid for lunch the last time, I got it. Every time, and we both do it to each other. Every time one of us get ready to pull out our credit card to pay for the lunch or whatever we doing, we be like, girl, you ain't got to pay for me. That's cool. That's me. Like, don't, you ain't got to give me none of your money. I know we go back and forth, but let's pay for ourselves one time. You know, no, I'm just that type of person. Strange. So you giving me $5,000, a bitch who's already crossed me in the first game, I would have been, my senses would have been going off. My senses, I would have took the 5. Oh, I would have took the 5. But my senses would have been off. I would have been like, don't trust that bitch. She just gave you $5,000. But see, Day got the $5,000 and was like, oh, Nicole will never cross me again. She just gave me $5,000. She wants to work with me in this game. I really feel like that was the play of the season. I feel like Nicole gave Day that $5,000, and every read that Davon has ever had, she put it out her head like, we good. She gave me 5K. No, she gave you 5K so she can send your ass home. I don't know why she want to be down with Danny and friends so bad. Like, I would respect Davon more if she just would have went and said, yeah, Tyler, I know you tried that shit, but I would have liked her better going with Tyler. I didn't like seeing Bailey get fucked over by Tyler, and I don't like seeing Davon. I don't like seeing them getting fucked over by the same people that fucked them over the first time. Like, I would have rather Davon put her trust in Tyler or Cody, Enzo, anybody, and have a new person fuck you over than to be looking at this rat-faced, irritating voice bitch sit in the background, her and Danny snickling, whatever them old folks say, snickering, whatever it is, laughing, smirking, while you and David in there cussing each other out. It's like, yeah, dance for us. Dance for us. Let's move on, because I said this wasn't going to be an angry video. Let's talk about strategy. This vote flip, I think for Danny and Nicole's game, this is the worst strategy they ever came up with, because y'all had the power to do whatever you wanted. You did not have to make Davon, Kevin, and David look and feel like idiots. You will not get their votes. If you two have to be sitting at the final 2 together. Whoever else y'all sitting with, those 3 people of color will not give you their vote. I don't know what YouTuber says it all the time. Is it Brent? Is it Taryn? One of them on Rob Has a Podcast. One of them said it. When you make people feel like a fool, you fuck up your jury vote. You can get people out, yeah, I got you, haha, I tricked you, I lied, but it was all strategy, all love, and people could still vote for you. But when you send people out looking like a complete fucking idiot, that shit hurt, and they ain't about to vote for you. And that's what's happening with you and Danny and friends. Y'all about to figure that out. Y'all could have said to all the people of color, what's their names, Day, Kevin, David, you could have said, look, we vote now in. Or Danny could have just said, I'm not breaking the tie. If she wanted to save face with her girl Nicole, I'm not breaking the tie, so Nicole is going to vote out in. It could have been a unanimous vote. You still was putting Kevin and David, or a combination of the three were going on the block regardless. Why lie to them? Why lie to them? Because now, Thursday, when Davon figures out I'm the butt of the joke, I've just called my fellow king, as she would like to say, she didn't say a coon, she said Uncle Tom. I just called him all of this. I just disrespected him. Davon is going to feel really dumb. Because she's in the house right now saying, Nicole wouldn't fuck me over twice. I just know she wouldn't. So I don't believe David. Nicole wouldn't fuck me over twice. And here this bitch is fucking you all up and down. I wrote in my notes, I said people always fuck good pussy twice. They do. They do. You could be a psychotic bitch. You could be stabbing it. You could be stabbing them. You could be crazy as hell. A man will fuck you twice if the pussy is good. That's what Nicole is doing to you. That's what she did to you when she gave you that 5. She gave you that 5 so she could fuck you twice, Dave. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm going to move on. So we already know the jury is going to be bitter. The jury is going to be bitter. Ian is over there bitter. Because he bitter just because he the first one over there. Davon is going to be bitter as fuck. Kevin, David, all them gonna be bitter. They gonna feel played. They gonna feel played. And however this telephone group falls apart, Danny, I feel like Danny is the first boot. She gonna be bitter as hell. Friends gonna be bitter as hell because I feel like Cody getting ready to play you. Enzo think he a part of the telephone group, but he about to be bitter once he figure out he just Verizon and not AT&T. Let's go through it. So I say, Angie, where is everybody at right now? Kevin is a lost cause. I think if Kevin won HOH next week, he would still put David on the block. I think Kevin is a lost cause. He's still running up behind Danny. When Danny was the one, if it wasn't for Davon using that veto, Danny was begging Davon not to use that veto so she could vote you out. But you running up behind Danny, telling all the plans so the vote flip can happen. And oh, Danny, David is going to do this. Like, I don't understand why Kevin doesn't believe David when Kevin knows he's the one who told Danny what was going down so the vote flip could occur. So, yeah, Kevin is a lost cause, and let's move on from there. Danny is definitely going to be bitter. I feel like next week 90% of the house guests that are left would nominate Danny. I think the only person that wouldn't nominate Danny is Nicole. And I said in my notes, I hope and pray that Tyler wins HOH next week because I want Tyler to be the one to put Danny up on the block and get her ass up and out. And I liked you, Danny. But I just don't. Moving on. The holiday. The holiday, I feel like, is in a good spot. I feel like depending on who wins HOH, the holiday will be safe, or she's going to be over there in jury because she might take a bullet for Tyler. And by that, I mean her and Tyler could be nominated, but Tyler could win a veto, and okay, by Christmas, by holiday, we see next season. Memphis, I feel the same way. Memphis is in a good spot depending on the HOH. I could see Memphis taking that same bullet for Cody. Like, Memphis and Cody, y'all sit y'all ass on the block. Cody wins him a veto, and bye Memphis. Take your ass back to Tennessee. Go ahead and sing to that damn river with your racist ass hat you be putting on. But moving on from that, Enzo, I feel like is in a good spot in the game. I feel like even though Enzo is Verizon and not AT&T, I think the internet and you know a couple of little part of the accessories, you know, the tablets and stuff. I feel like some of that might go before Verizon. Like they might hold on to Verizon a little bit. But I don't think Enzo will make it to the end. I feel like if one of the ladies went HOH, one of the blonde hair, blue eyes, if they win an HOH, they will put up Enzo because the ladies are rocking with this telephone group hard. And Enzo is not a part of the telephone group. He's just not. Friends, I can see Friends just sneaking her way to the final two only because she doesn't do anything. And she's not a threat. And she's a winner. She's a winner. I feel like the only one that would put Friends up is Enzo because Enzo is the only person I heard that said, I don't want anybody being a two-time winner. Like, winners have to go. So, if Enzo doesn't win HOH, Friends could slither by a little bit. But I just don't... I think if Friends does get to the final two, the jury will be very, very bitter. Like, none of the black people are going to vote for Friends. Period. So, she has to sit there with Danny. David, he is my lost cause, but... I'm like Issa Rae. I'm rooting for everybody black. So I am rooting for David. David has a good read on the house. And I feel like if David won an HOH, he would not put up Kevin, where I cannot say the same for Kevin. I feel like David would put up a Cody. David would put up a Tyler. Like, David would be like, fuck it. I'm going home next week. Let me make a big statement in the game. He should put up Memphis, but I don't think he would put up Memphis. Is David our hope for the season? Like, is David the only hope we have? Because let me tell you this. Anybody who puts up Cody and gets out Cody should win the game. Cody is the power source of the season. He's like the nice bully. He's like the nice Paul. He ain't sending people out to read you down and make you feel like you trash. But Cody is the one who everyone, should we vote out Tyler? Is it okay for us to vote out Tyler? No, vote out Enid. Why do I have to lose my best friend and Cody doesn't have to lose his best friend? Like, Cody is the one running the game secretly. His pregame alliance is running the game. Okay. If anybody could get out Cody, all the decks are reshuffled. Where does Friends go without Cody? Especially now that she doesn't have an Ian. Who does Memphis and Enzo report to? Does Tyler become the top dog? Or do we now say, okay, Cody's gone, let's get rid of Tyler? Like, the decks can completely reshuffle if someone can get rid of Cody. But I don't think anyone has that read that Cody has to go. Tyler, I hate what he did that week with Bay and Day. And I also hate that Tyler is production's favorite. Period. But Tyler is a comp beast. I feel like Tyler, if someone does have to win out, like win HOH, win veto, win HOH, win veto, Tyler could do it to stay safe in the game. I think production would throw him a couple of vetoes, you know, push a couple of people's feet off of platforms, you know. And I already said what I had to say about Cody. Cody, to me, is the front runner. To me, Cody is the one who can get all the votes. I don't see anyone in the jury being bitter at Cody. To me, Cody wins the game. If he's sitting at the final two, he deserves to win. Period. So, I also said in my notes, the real winner of this season is the pregame alliance. That shit is powerful. I just wanted to give a video on strategy. Like, I was really sitting at work and I was just writing notes in my journal, and I was like, I have been so angry at Big Brother the past maybe 3 or 4 videos. It was at the point where the other day, I told you, I really understand previous YouTubers. Like, I was at a point where I ain't even really want to watch this shit no more. But I'm going to watch it and I'm going to review. And I want to try to get, I think it's unfortunate to say this. What I'm about to say is very unfortunate, but we have to get rid of maybe Da'Vonne and David before I can actually watch the show without being in my emotions. Like, I ain't gonna be happy for none of them. Like, I ain't rooting for nobody else. But in order just for people to stop the racist shit, it's fucked up. All the black people have to go. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna review it. I'm gonna try my best to get back to why I love it, which is for the strategy. I hope these people start making some big moves. Eventually you will. Because like I said, you can't divide the check into 6 pieces. All right, y'all. I hope you all like this video. I hope you share this video. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of strategy talk. Get in the comments and let's talk a little bit of strategy. Like, yeah, we're going to point out the racist shit when we see it. We're going to read y'all asses up and down. But let's talk about a little bit of the strategy in the comments. And share. Share wherever you want to share it. I think I'm going to share this one on Twitter too. I haven't shared on Twitter in a while just because I've been so angry. I appreciate you all. Thank you for encouraging me in the comments. I'm not going to quit, y'all. Your girl just started. It's too soon to quit. It's too soon to quit. I'm not going to quit. But I appreciate the love and I appreciate the encouragement in the comments. And I will see you all probably not tomorrow. I already told you what's happening tomorrow. Tyler wanted to veto the nom stayed the same. So we ain't got to talk about that. I'll be back after we see Davon get kicked out because I'm going to be sad. And we're going to see who the new HOH is. And I'm kind of hoping that it's David. Yeah. All right. Bye.